So, using ChatGPT for legal advice. Um, ChatGPT and the other AI large language models, they're very useful tools. So, by all means, if you want to use them and get some information and sort of prepare yourself, use Google, use whatever you want to use. But here's some things to keep in mind when you're using ChatGPT or some other AI large language model to ask legal questions or come up with legal strategy. One of the biggest problems is that these large language models, they only answer the questions that you ask. And so one of the most important benefits of working with a knowledgeable attorney is that they know the questions to ask you to identify risks and opportunities and help you achieve the result that you want to achieve. And hopefully you have a lawyer that starts by asking you what you want to achieve and why it's important to you. This is not something that a large language model is likely to do, at least not right now. Maybe they'll eventually learn. But one of the other big issues to keep in mind is that they're very, very good at mimicking people, and they are also programmed to tell you what you want to hear. So it is seductive. We're sort of hardwired to feel that we're having an empathetic connection with someone. When it mimics human speech, it mimics a conversation that feels very human, but it's not human. It is a computer program, and again, it's programmed to tell you what you want to hear. So just take everything it says with a huge grain of salt. It's also looking at just random stuff all over the internet, and there's a lot of misinformation about intellectual property and probably everything else on the internet. So, the garbage in, garbage out problem also is an issue. If you want to see, you could try a couple of different large language models and see how different the answers are. But really the takeaway I hope you're getting is that one of the important things about working with a lawyer that you trust, that's a good fit for you, is that that person is a human being who presumably, hopefully, cares about you and your business and is in their business because they want to help you achieve the results that you want to achieve. And so those conversations should start with talking about you, your life, your business, why things are important to you, what you're trying to do. If your lawyer is just an automaton and they're just doing what you tell them to do without exploring or challenging you, then you may want to look around for someone else who's a little bit more committed to delivering you a meaningful outcome. Because again, you don't necessarily know all the questions to ask, and even if you have really good questions, you only can see the part that's right in front of you, and a knowledgeable attorney in that field will also have information about the things that you aren't thinking about now that you will be thinking about next year or the year before or the year after. So you'll have a more forward-looking strategy if you're working with the right lawyer. We find many times in asking the right questions, we uncover all kinds of opportunities that the client hadn't thought about. And sometimes we also discover that what the client's trying to achieve is not something that trademark registration will deliver to them, or patents or whatever. So again, regardless of how much research you've done up to this point, by the time you go to the lawyer, it can help you understand perhaps and have a more meaningful conversation with the lawyer perhaps, but ultimately the lawyer is there to ask you questions, to uncover opportunities, to make sure that what you think you want is what will actually serve you and give you the outcome that you're really looking for. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, these large language models, very useful tools. Just keep in mind that they do not know the questions to ask you. They're answering the questions that you ask them. And they also are programmed to please you and tell you what you want to hear. So they are unlikely to tell you that it's not, that your questions are not the right questions, or that, your strategy that you've worked out is anything other than a brilliant strategy. They really are programmed to flatter. So I'm sure someone, if you are a person doing like large language models and you want to tell me, there's some that don't do that are programmed to be skeptical, I would love to know about those, and that way I can share those with my network here as well. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. Catherine Cavella, IP Works Law.